Hi, I'm tax attorney Dan Urban with Urban Tax Law. Let's talk about the U.S. Tax Court. There are several ways to get your case in front of the U.S. Tax Court, and today I'm going to talk to you about the most common way, which is after you've gone through an IRS audit. First, your return is selected for examination, then you submit documents and information to the IRS revenue agent, then the revenue agent sends you an examination report, then they send you a notice of deficiency, and that outlines their final determination on adjustments to your tax return, including additional tax, penalty, and interest. You have 90 days from the date of the notice of deficiency to file a petition in the U.S. Tax Court. So why file a petition in tax court? Well, if you disagree with the results of your IRS audit, there are few better places to be for two main reasons. First, after filing a petition in tax court, you get what amounts to several additional bites at the apple, or additional opportunities to address any issues you have with the audit and resolve your case successfully. Remember, we only need one person to say yes. And by filing in tax court, first you make a stop with IRS appeals. They'll review your case and may concede or may offer you a settlement. Second, you get to negotiate with an IRS attorney who may also concede the case or offer you a settlement. And lastly, the tax court judge, the final boss, makes a decision. There are no jury trials in tax court, just a judge, and you never really know how the judge is going to rule on a given case. One petition, 3 opportunities to resolve the case in our favor. Second, one critically important aspect of tax court is that you do not need to pay the tax first before filing your petition in tax court. For every other court where you contest the assessment of the tax, U.S. District Court or the U.S. Court of Federal Claims, you must pay the entire tax due first and then request a refund. So tax court is by far the cheapest option for getting into court to dispute a tax assessment from the IRS. If you have a case pending with the U.S. Tax Court, or if you've just received a notice of deficiency, specifically less than 90 days ago, schedule a consultation and let's talk about your case. At Urban Tax Law, if your case is before the U.S. Tax Court, our first mission is to make sure we are aware of all of the deadlines. Then we'll file an appearance in your case so the tax court recognizes us as your attorney of record. We'll make contact with appeals or with opposing counsel, and we'll take over as point of contact with the IRS so that you don't need to talk with them. We'll then review your case in detail, present you with your options, and then execute on that best option. Our goal is always to resolve your case effectively and efficiently. I'm tax attorney Dan Urban with Urban Tax Law. We look forward to hearing from you.